In his address to the media today at the Uganda Media Center, the Minister of Works and Transport, General Edward Katumba Wamala, said that following the President's directives on fully opening of the public transport and schools, the President directed that the transport sector, which has been operating at 50%, should open fully but observing the standard operating procedures like face masking and full vaccination by both the crew and the passengers.
The President directed that the transport sector, which had been operating at 50%, should open fully, but with necessary SOPs, such as the wearing of masks and full vaccination by both the crew and the passengers. He also directed that pre-primary, primary and secondary schools will be open for learners starting the 10th of January 2022. He accordingly directed the Minister of Education and Sports and the Minister of Works and Transport to provide detailed plans for opening of the respective schools. I will quote verbatim the President's the section in the President's speech to that effect. And I quote, "On account of those factors, we now intend to fully open the economy as well as educational and social activities in some staggered manner. We shall therefore take the following measures as indicated below."
The minister added that the President also directed that pre-primary, primary and secondary schools be opened starting 10th January with the Ministry of Works and Transport to derive a plan that will be followed by the transport sector in transporting students to schools. On the issue of exorbitant transport fares, the minister said that he had physically engaged in an agreement with public transporters and reached an agreement of reducing on the travel rates for passengers, including students, since the system has been fully reopened.
Operators, and we also discussed the issue of public transport fares. You all know what had happened when the lockdown came. The transport fares more or less doubled on some routes. Now we had to sit down again and we have a discussion with the transporters in terms of fares, because now we are going back to 100% carriage capacity, but they also had issues. For example, you all know the cost of fuel now, which is very high. You all know that the spares, even tires and all that which goes with the transport section, have gone up. So they also had their concerns. Plus also that many times maybe when they go one route, they may not be able to come back full load on another route. So all these factors were considered and we came to agree on some fares, which I'll request them their own time to communicate generally as to what fares we have come to agree on these fares. And I will call upon all the operators, both taxi and bus, to really adhere to these fares so that we don't cheat our people. Because people don't have the money. True, people don't have the money now. We have all been faced with COVID. We need our children to go back to school. Please, transporters, have a human heart, as we have discussed and agreed. Let's all bear those fares so that some people don't say, for me it's my bus, I'll charge as I want. So
public transporters, park management and general public are reminded to take security precautions since the country still grapples with terrorism threats. TV Africa News, Kachanchu Mtabazi reporting.